Classic
Conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low.
Hey, yo, what's happening, people? Y'all know what time it is, man. It is right at 8:30, so it is time for Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low.
And that's a cup.
Listen, man, we are live. We are live. If you are looking at us on YouTube right now, that means you are in the right place. But that means if some of your friends are not looking, then you need to make sure that they get in the right place. But while you're there, we need for you to hit those buttons over there. Those buttons on the right-hand side, you're going to see a heart button. You hit that, then you're going to hit a whole bunch of other buttons going to come up. I just need you to hit them. Because once you hit those buttons, it's going to help our
algorithm
go up. Because as we keep telling you people right now, we free. Things is going to change. You're doing it for Shannon. You're doing it for all these other folks. You're doing it for Cam. Cam getting ate up out there, man. Might as well do it for us. Go on, share that thing. Right now, what I need for you to do is go ahead and share this thing. Need for you to push it over to other people so they can come on over here to where we at on YouTube, which is YouTube Live, people. How y'all doing, man?
I'm Gucci, brother.
How you, bro?
Excellent, excellent.
All right,
a little tired, but that's it.
Who?
A little tired, but...
Oh, I thought you said roll tide. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, we ain't rode no tide, but I did get some... I got some collecting to do this all week long. Thank you, Falcon fans.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
I saw your video walking down the hallway. I saw you.
Yeah, appreciate them Falcon fans, man. I love y'all. I'm with y'all after this week. I just told y'all I love the Falcons outside of unless they don't play Pittsburgh. I'm back with you, man, but I'm going to collect that money, though. I got one yesterday on live on this podcast. Spencer Neal paid me on the podcast. I loved it.
Oh, nice.
He got dope video for the Falcons, too. If y'all ain't seen it, check it out, man. It's real dope.
And wait, today is Tuesday. The game was Sunday, and it was an early game. Hey, man, y'all late. The game was over at 4:30. Y'all should have paid this man by now.
Oh, no. I told him I want cash.
Oh,
I want.
Oh, hand to hand.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't about the. It wasn't about the money. I told him it's not about the money. I want to see you had to pay me for all the trash that you talked. I want you got to see me. Don't zell it to me. Don't do nothing. No. You got to have me my money.
Damn.
We gave him $5. Nah.
Damn, dude.
What?
That took that whole 5 minutes and still blew it.
I promise you, we talked about this before the show got started.
I hit the wrong iPhone and I just didn't do it right.
I told you the villain.
Hey, number one, we're gonna be watching debate with y'all, and we're gonna be critiquing throughout the show.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do tonight. First, we got a guest in the show. This is her second time gracing the desk of Classic Konversations. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing awesome.
Gyzay.
Yeah.
Gyzay Sunray. Sunray.
Yeah.
Told you. She changed it on me. This is the second time changing it on me.
Gyzay Sunray. That's my name on IG.
That's the name on IG now. You changed it on me. Had me all messed up. I'm looking for you. Like,
That's
where's she
okay.
going?
You on
we got
my
you.
page,
But you did. But we there now, though, right?
Yes.
That's where we're gonna stay.
Yes.
Sunray.
Yes.
We're gonna stay Sunray.
The score.
Yeah.
Okay. How you been? You been good?
I've been awesome.
Okay.
Been
All right.
doing awesome. Yeah.
Good deal. Well, listen, man. Before this debate get going, you know the hot topic right now. We've seen another black man get pulled out of his car and slammed to the ground. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. You know, some people say that he was totally in the right. Some people say there's a gray area. You know, some people say the police was right. This was in Miami-Dade. Wow. It was crazy. They basically said that he didn't roll his window down fast enough. Is that what we're getting?
So basically, that's what they're saying, is that he was a threat and uncooperative. And, you know, to watch the video in full from their perspective, as a former police officer, I can tell you that Tyreek Hill, I won't say he was 100% innocent. However, I cannot in any shape, form, or fashion justify what the police did, the turn up on them, in particular this one particular guy who really escalated the entire thing. But so I'm sure everybody's seen it by now, but Tyreek got pulled over for speeding. When he pulled over, you know, he didn't immediately roll his window down. When he did roll it down, he rolled it down partially. Guy told he was speeding. Asked for his driver's license. He did give it to him with the window partly, and he's not required to roll the window all the way down. So he gave it to him, and then but he rolled it back up. Now, from a police officer standpoint, I no longer have a visual on you.
Yeah, because his windows was tinted.
Because the windows were tinted. I don't have a visual on you. So he was justified in saying to him, hey, roll your window back down, right? So, and for that part, Tyreek was wrong in terms of, you know you can't roll your window up on a police officer. Come on, brother. You have to know better than that, especially in this climate. You know, the wrong cop would have immediately pulled his gun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
His roll down game like his pull out game.
Yeah. So that was the mistake Tyreek did make. Now, when he banged on the window and told him to roll the window down, Tyreek again slightly rolled it down, questioning why you banging on my window. Now, at that point, the window's down, you have the ID, so now it's a battle of whose is bigger at that point. Because he's saying, you know, show me, roll the window down, I'm gonna get you out the car. Well, the window's down. Then he says, matter of fact, get out the car.
Yeah.
That's when everything just escalated. That part, the police officer, you already had his ID. You know what I mean? Now you had to make a decision as an officer. Am I just gonna go ahead and write this ticket, or am I gonna?
Is he free to go?
Yeah. Or do I get combative? And he chose the combative route. Mm-hmm. The police officer chose the combative route at that point. There was no point for him to say, all right, matter of fact, get out the car. You know what I mean? Because he'd already complied at this point.
Yeah, they opened up the door and pulled him out.
He already complied at this point. You know what I mean? So you open up the door and pull him out, he'd already complied. And now you snatching him out. You know what I mean? Then you putting him face down. Now you handcuffing. You know what I mean? What are we doing this for? You know, at this point, what's the charge? You know what I mean? The charge was you pissed me off. That was the charge.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Because he wasn't clocked. He wasn't clocked, so they can't get him on speeding. There wasn't enough space to pace him. They could have got him for reckless driving if there was anybody crossing the streets. So, yeah, he did push the envelope on it, and, you know, Tyreek gave him the bait, and he took it.
He gave him the bait. You know what I mean? That's why I can't just say Tyreek was 100% innocent. He could have, you got a game. You got pulled over. He could have handled it differently. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people are bashing anybody that says anything differently. But the reality of it is, you know, if you've never pulled over a car before, you never been in a situation, you can't tell me no, that's not true. Too many police officers gotten shot by the road, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can't, never going to agree with that part. You know, and any police officer that's been there is never going to agree with that part. However, we can say the officer was well over, he went well over the need. He was well too exertive. You know what I mean? It was just, he went too far. That much I can tell you.
Yeah, ended up with 2 tickets, and I think, they didn't
What you gonna get thrown
charge him
out?
with speeding. They, it was, what was it? Not using a signal and also
Reckless driving.
reckless driving.
Is what,
Yeah, I've
what
heard
I
that.
read.
Yeah, they're saying that the
Something,
tickets should come up to $300 in fines for the tickets. But then did you see where the other players pulled over?
And that was really irritating.
The other players pulled over, and they was actually I don't think they handcuffed them though, right?
They handcuffed one of them.
Yeah, they handcuffed one of the players that pulled over.
I can't remember his name. What's his name, Dwayne? The big lineman.
Big lineman used to play for the Falcons.
They handcuffed him, and
Big
he
lineman.
held it. Campbell.
Yep.
And he held his hands up the entire time.
Yeah, whole time.
The entire time. And they told him to back up. He backed up.
Yep.
You know, they said, get in your car. He said, I'm not going to leave my friends. Like I kept saying, he said, I'm backing up. He said, I'll go wherever you want me to go, but I'm not going to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude said, move your car. He said, you can tow my car, but I'm not going to leave my friends.
Then once he said something about I'll leave, the same guy was like, no, now you're dealing with me because
that was the other guy. That's the old, another police officer. That was another football player.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Elias Campbell was getting back. The other football player was on his phone talking to Drew Rosenhaus, the agent, and he told him. And the other police officer was other people like, man, just get in your car
and leave.
Just leave.
He said, hey man, I'm leaving. He's like,
he said, nah, too late. Now you're dealing with me.
But is the policy?
Dude was a jerk, man.
Is the policy to take somebody out and slam them on the ground? That's the part that
That's why I said.
Especially in Miami Heat.
That part was way too much.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, I mean, like you said, he should have not rolled his window back up. That was a little disrespectful. Mm-hmm. If you're already pulled over, you have to comply to a certain degree. You know, you're giving them your information. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what you're about to do. If you roll your window up and the window is tinted.
And I can't
However, should I be slammed onto the pavement? That's the part because I see white people get pulled over. I watch a lot of videos where they cuss them out and everything, and they are not treated
not pulled
as
out
a threat.
Not just he should have not only not been pulled out the pavement, he shouldn't have been pulled out the car at all. There was no reason for the officer to pull him out the car at all. At the point, like I said earlier, even though he was being disrespectful, and he was trying to trigger them, and he did. At the minute that he rolled the window down, he complied with the officer. And the officer just made a decision at that point. You know what? Nah, get out the car.
They're already triggered by a successful black man.
But
that's how I look at it. They are already. They already feel some kind of way.
Tyreek did everything he could, and
these weren't white guys. Though.
Joe wasn't.
I know.
He did everything
I was
he
listening
could.
to the accent. They sound like they were Mexican.
He did everything he could
be Cuban
to keep
like
from mentioning race in his press conference.
Yeah.
He kept trying not to mention race, but one thing he said that caught me. He was like, you know, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill?
And that absolutely.
Mm-hmm. He was like, man, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill?
And the other guys, what if they weren't Dolphin players? What if the Miami Dolphins executives didn't come down there? Oh, he's right. When he said that, I was like, you know what would happen if you weren't Tyreek Hill. You know exactly what would have happened. That slam would have went further than that. You know, even when the guy was trying to put him down, he's like, man, I just had surgery on my knee. He was trying to get down, but he was trying to, he was in handcuffs. You know what I mean?
And that was the same guy.
Yeah,
that came and got him
and you're going to be like,
down.
it's like, come on, man. That was really irritating, man. But how he treated the other two football players was so unnecessary because you see what they're trying to do. They weren't a threat. They didn't show you nothing, but they didn't show you no appearance of being a threat. Calais Campbell kept his hands up the entire time to let you know, I'm just here for my friend. You know what I mean? And he put him in handcuffs. Yeah. It was like, come on, man.
But I'm wondering, when you say that they were not white, does that make you, do you feel like that other races do not discriminate against?
No,
I'm just wondering.
Out of context, because most people are going to feel, if they haven't seen this video and know nothing about it, people that's not in the sports world, they're going to automatically assume that it's going to be white cops that it was.
Right.
But it wasn't this time. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some black cops that go ham. I mean, being honest, like Angelo said, this felt like basically which ones was bigger. That's how it started. Mine's bigger than yours, just though you got a nice car, but I got the badge, partner.
I just wish Tyreek would have just simply rolled the window down, and then we would have, then you would have a better chance of seeing just how ignorant these guys are. You know what I mean? And for people watching and seeing this stuff, man, it's, I know Stephen A. got bashed today for his comments, but all he was saying was simply, hey, listen, at the end of the day, your job is to get home to your family, to your friends, to your loved ones. Don't deliberately antagonize
Right.
them. You know what I mean? We're not justifying, and I say we're not justifying what they did. What those officers did was wrong. It was excessive. No ifs, no ands, or buts. However, don't just deliberately antagonize them. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that part. You know, now if they take it excessive and you did everything that they asked you to do and they still or they would question you too hard, or they would, you know what I mean? Let them be completely at fault. But you not rolling the window up, down, and then rolling it back up, and then having to keep knocking for you to roll it back down, and then you roll down, you know what I mean? You were doing everything you could to antagonize. You know what I mean? And it's just
Do you
like,
think he was scared?
huh?
Do you think he had any
I don't
fear
think he was
No,
scared
not-
at that point. I think
not at the beginning.
I
No,
think he
not
was.
as he had scared. He's a Miami Dolphins football player outside of the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't scared at the
He
beginning.
was playing a game that a lot of people play.
Yes.
People play to get it on, Instagram and clown with the police. These officers, they let him push the buttons, and professionalism should have kept him from going as far as they did. But don't excuse his juvenile behavior, and that's the part that we have to learn as a people. When you do fucked up shit and then fucked up shit happen, don't be surprised. But was it justified by what he did? Of course not in that case. But there's a lot of other cases where people deliberately, and then they make a mistake of crossing that line, maybe saying one thing that's threatening or failure to comply. That's where the officer messed up. Because if he would have kept on playing, then he could have took him out the car, because at that point, it is a safety issue. But when he complied with your command, you can't keep on doing anything at that point, because he
Right.
complied. Now, if you'd have told him, roll it all the way down so I could see into the interior of your car for my safety and your safety, that's what he should have said. He
Right.
just kept on giving orders instead of letting the young man know why he did it. But Tyreek Hill knew what he was doing. He should have been thinking about the game. He's thinking about everything else but the game. But that's,
Maybe he was triggered too, though.
Triggered by what?
I've been triggered. I've been pulled over, and I'm thinking, why are you pulling me over?
However, at the time you're doing that,
I can remember feeling like that energy
what did you?
I
But what
felt.
did you do when the officer came to your car?
I said, why are you pulling me over?
Was your window down?
And yes,
Did
of
you roll your window
course.
back up?
I don't know, because he did go back to his car, and I think I can't remember if I rolled it back
I'm
up.
talking about while he was still standing there talking to
No,
you.
not while he was. No, of course not.
But did he tell
Not
you-
while he was still
Did he
standing
tell you why he
there.
pulled you over?
He did. Well,
She left out that
after he
part, I
took
was
my
saying.
information,
Okay.
he went back to and he told me, and I was annoyed.
And why did he pull you over?
I said, you don't have anything better to do? I was in the HOV lane, really? I said, people are speeding, and I wasn't speeding anything. That was the only reason. So
if-
I was a little, I can remember kind of shaking because I wanted to.
Yeah, but the point is, if the HOV lane isn't enforced, and now
I feel
everybody's
you.
in the HOV lane,
I
when
agree.
somebody does have two people in there, now they can't get by because everybody else is in HOV. What's the point of HOV lane
I
if
was
your
wrong.
officer's wrong for doing his job?
No, I didn't say he was wrong. I said I was
You just annoyed.
triggered.
I think a lot of people are triggered. I
Because
think we
I didn't
all.
even know about the HOV lane, to be
I think most
honest.
people are triggered
Yes.
when they see them blue lights behind them. Most people are triggered.
Well,
you
he
know what I
rolled
mean?
beside me
I'm
for
a
a
former
while.
police
He kept
officer,
looking,
and
and I didn't
when I
know.
get pulled over, I'll be like, oh boy, I'm triggered.
It depends
Yes.
where
So-
I'm at with me, because a lot of times I'm more worried when I get outside of the metro Atlanta area, because I know the training falls way off. Not all departments, but with a lot of departments. So that's when I say, oh, okay, no, don't play no games. Because, yeah, as a black man in America, we're pulled over more. That's what I'm saying. But you also know a lot of us do things to get pulled over. So when I'm not, first of all, I always ask the officer, how you doing today, officer? How you doing today, officer?
Yes.
And I make him speak to me.
Yes.
Because you're gonna be courteous to me. You're not gonna walk over me, but
Yeah.
I'm not being smart. I say, hey, how you doing? You having a bad day? He said, why you
Right.
say that? I said, because you didn't speak. Oh, I'm sorry. And then he realizes, once they realize you're a black man, they chill. When you somebody they think they can mess with, they will, the ones that are bad. But the vast majority of officers do it right.
What do you mean when you say lack of training, that the training's different outside?
Well, what happens with a lot of departments, and they come from small towns, and it's not a budget, They don't get any additional training. All they get is what's called mandate, what's required by the state every year for officers to do. It's always a use of force component. Whatever happened that year, like this year, it'll definitely be active shooter training. And, because of what just happened. And those are things, just key things that they want. And then you get your basic law changes and things of that nature. Larger departments like Atlanta, they're building a police officer complex. That's what kills with people that don't want it. You want officers better trained. It's for us.
Correct.
And so the larger departments, I've had people go to 80 hours to 100 hours of training in addition to the regular training. And on average, most officers that really care about the job get about 15 to 20 additional hours in on a litany of subjects on pertaining to law enforcement.
Hold up.
Okay.
We're going to have to table this. We're going to take a minute break so we can get this thing set up. And then we're coming back. We're going to get down with this debate. We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
And that's a cop. In the women's rugby, if you look at the New Zealand side, they're vicious.
Portia Woodman.
Yeah.
My goodness.
yeah.
She's literally a player that would like go into contact, pick somebody up on her shoulder and keep running while she has the ball.
Yeah.
Like she's retiring this year.
Okay.
RIP to the great, but man, yeah.
The American men almost made it in to medal qualifying. And that was that's I'm not going to say it's a fluke, fellas,
All
but
that type stuff.
the best sides were very, the American women, when they beat Australia, that was crazy cool.
Yeah.
That was crazy
I'm
cool.
so happy that they bronzed out this year. They medaled out. They haven't done that in 100 years.
Oh, wow.
And they got $4 million committed to the program
But
from a donor because of that. So
Really?
it's going to be major for women's rugby.
It's good stuff.
Wow.
And they don't play 50 in a side, but do you know who won the first gold medal in rugby?
No, I don't.
America.
What's happening, people? We back. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
And that's the cop is watching.
Boy, he watching. As you can see, you may
Excuse me,
see.
can we listen to Trump?
Yeah,
Sat there quietly and listened to her.
we actually, as you
Jesus
can see,
Christ,
we're actually looking to the right a little bit because to your left because we're actually looking at the debate. Hopefully, you're looking at it too. Put in the comments up on anything that you want to talk about as we listen to this. Certain people are mad because I'm talking while Donald Trump is actually talking. So, because we wasn't live, man. Ain't nobody got to bet against Donald Trump. He's an asshole by himself. I ain't got to do nothing against that bug. But hey,
He said you just
these mics gonna be hot, y'all. Y'all listen in. All right? These mics gonna be hot. Somebody trying to sabotage that motherfucker. The fuck?
So, Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not...
I'm only gonna comment right now because MJ said we don't comment when she talking. So I'm commenting while she talking.
Right. What we spoke about earlier was how we could tell that she's a lawyer because she basically came out and told you what he was going to do and then told you what she was going to do. So, yeah, call this playbook before he could even play it.
Eminem style. 8 Mile. She did the 8 Mile on him.
Right. Now go ahead and tell these people something they don't know about me.
She's not black.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to...
There you go.
Our values as a country. It's going to make...
Is there proof that anybody from the Wharton School of Economics, whatever he said, approved his plan? Yeah.
That's his go-to. That is great.
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences. Like four sentences. This is just, we'll try a lower tax. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something we both brought up. The Vice President.
Run, Spot, Run. That sounds like his favorite book. Oh, it froze. That string that y'all talking about. Yeah, I see it. I see it right there.
Arguing it costs the typical family $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. Who's going to have higher prices is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response. You heard what the president said there because the Biden administration...
Former president. Don't call him president.
Right.
So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump
Is it personal?
administration resulted in
He's former
a
president.
deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military. Basically sold us out.
Tell the truth.
Policy about China should be in making sure the United so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing, focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought the chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy.
He's always wilding.
Be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist.
Wow.
Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than what
You say you believe 21, but now it's higher.
Just look at what they're doing to our country.
Double talk.
Criminals, many of these people coming in are criminals, and that's bad for our economy too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thanks. Let's see.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump belonged to a town that you were able to kill. Last year you said that you were proud
They
to be
repeatedly
the most
catch him in
woman
lies
president in American
all the
history.
time.
Then
I've
last
seen it.
month, You said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you were support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women should
That came out his mouth too, MJ. You believe that?
Therefore, why should they trust
So
you?
the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of
What?
West Virginia, the previous governor.
The 9th month. Jesus Christ.
What?
Take the mic.
They've already
did he
proven that
just
he was
say?
lying about that.
And we will decide what to do with it.
What did he
Yeah.
just say?
He's been lying about that. He said that they have
In the
abortion
9th
after the
month?
baby's born, and they've already proven that he's lying.
Than that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a powerful thing,
He said, looking for his mind.
her vice presidential pick says
Yeah.
next month is absolutely
Well, that's what he's been saying. Yeah. I think he said Minnesota.
execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay.
What?
That's not okay with me.
What?
Ain't nobody said that. Stop that. Please.
No, people have shown that he's lying about that, and they say he keeps telling that lie. Or maybe he doesn't care. Like
That's because he done
you know.
killed some babies.
Right.
After they were born.
Life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of those into exceptions. Very important.
His lawyer already alluded to that
You know you
he's
done
been
fucked up,
murdering
right?
people. Remember when his lawyer was talking about
Hey,
that?
Ben, wait a second. You know you done fucked up, right? Yeah, she can't.
That's
she,
it right
she
there.
can't wait. She can't wait to talk, boy.
Right. I know you lying.
Look, and she ain't turned red, so you know she black. Look how red he is.
There is no state in this country where it's illegal to kill a baby
Told you.
after it's born.
Thank you. Thank you.
Told
Thank
you.
you for just shooting that junk down. That's just insane.
Told
I'm
you.
glad she didn't allow that to go.
Right.
Give me a break.
which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government and Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
Period. Period.
Here, here.
You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because their healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put
She's
that in
banging his
place,
ass.
as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign an actual abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body,
Y'all deserve it.
should not be made by the doctor.
What we don't deserve is him. That's
Well, you said that's a lie.
All we're gonna get is more EBT cards, welfare, and subsidized housing.
Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar.
Everybody else is gonna move up and out. We're gonna remain right where we are.
And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart. And they wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it
Well,
came to
you
your
have to because again.
That's not the question.
Not right. She didn't answer that.
Congress should never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50.
Ask him again, please.
50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not gonna get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of when they said they're gonna get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably. But look, her boss went out.
They definitely blocked it. They definitely blocked it. Because I got something saying mines were, yes, that mines were going to be paid off. And then,
well, because they froze the money up for a lot of them. They tried to stop it.
But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because you're representing Jamie Vance, I said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with Jake.
He still-
Oh, you
he
didn't
still-
discuss
Yeah.
it with your VP elect.
He still won't answer.
But I think he was speaking for me, but I really not. She'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get
He didn't ask you that. She still.
This
she just
guy.
need a yes or no.
And a lot of other people that had loans.
Ask him again, please. Hold him to the fire.
About going to Congress. So wonderful. Let's go to Congress.
what he's not talking about is why they couldn't get it approved. Right?
Do you think they should have got it approved?
Ask him again.
People that paid their own way to get student loans get just paid off?
I was going to give you your time to respond, but I do want to.
What'd you say?
Student
Yes,
loans just be paid off?
yes.
They were going to give everybody $20,000.
It should give some kind of benefit, man, because you know, luckily I had to do that jump, but people were struggling off that stuff, man.
Oh, yeah, but you gotta look at people that go to trade school, go to trade schools.
If they had to get a loan, they should.
Like most of them paying
They all come from the
But
same.
Congress
A lot of
Congress
big-
blocked it. Congress, they went back and, so that's why I'm saying, he's not saying that part.
It's unconstitutional.
Are being denied IVF treatment.
Yeah, he won't answer the question.
No. And I think they got in her earpiece and told her not to ask him again.
Who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers.
That's a
to go
fact.
and get the health care she needs.
I know that's a fact.
Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why.
That's the Philadelphia Eagles going up against a Pop Warner football team. Spanking that ass like a $2 home on Stewart Avenue.
No, you don't. He said another lie.
I've been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should
Right.
ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month? Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question? That's the problem. Because under Roe v. Wade, you could do
Yeah,
abortion
answer the question.
in the
Right.
7th month, the 8th month, the 9th month, and probably after birth. Just
Why do you keep saying after birth? Why do
He
you keep
is
saying
killing
that?
me with
'Cause
this.
he
It's not an
believe-
abortion,
Why do
man.
you keep saying that's murder? That's
He's
what
been
we're talking
running on
about.
that. He's been saying that.
And you saying people should vote for this month.
Saying that.
I don't get that, man.
Right.
Sacrifice.
Right. Right.
That's murder, sir. What are we talking about?
I don't get that.
That's incredible.
I just don't get it. And there are people.
Wait until 6 months before the election to act. And would you have done anything differently for President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there's so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress, and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president
Hey, Dwayne,
is someone
go
who would
turn
prefer
that
to run
AC.
a problem instead of fixing
Man, it's
a
freezing in here.
problem. And I'll tell you something, I'm just gonna talk
I turned me into a popsicle up in this joint. Remember, I get sick on the podcast, man. It got junk so cold.
I got my hat on, boy. I got that hat on. I want that air going in the bald head. Be sick on Thursday, boy.
Oh, what? Well, how you get sick? Sitting on the podcast?
Looking at the debate.
He got sick just now.
He said he gonna get sick if he don't turn that air down.
You will not hear talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first. And I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response. Let me just ask you, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the board.
First, let me respond to this. She said,
He never answers
Never
questions.
answers the question.
Especially when he's wrong.
and the people that do go, she's supposed to commit
Yeah.
paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies. Biggest rallies. That's because people want to take their country
Sure enough didn't leave when they started shooting. It makes you wonder.
I want to do a close up on that. Hey, do a close up on that ear. Let's see where that bullet hole is at. I want to see it so bad.
Well, you know they end up saying it was glass. It was probably glass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not a bullet. I don't know. Right.
That's hilarious, and you can still see it.
What?
This is what's happening in our country. And it's
Eating the
a shame.
pets.
As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's very simple phrase. Make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, will end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify.
Wow.
Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed. injured, or
Exactly. They clowning him.
Caught him in another lie.
I'm glad they clowning him.
The people on television said my dog was taken and used for food.
So his dog was eating. Oh my God!
Crazy.
Good God.
And
this
there-
your king?
And
He got
there
more
are
propaganda.
folks. There are folks out there that's looking to vote for this dude.
This
It
guy.
is.
This
It's
is amazing.
ridiculous.
This is, I think, one of the reasons.
How do I respond to nonsense of what she's saying?
I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congressmember Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if you didn't make it clear already, his former chief of staff, or Attorney General, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former National Security Advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former
Wow.
Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another
He removed him.
term. And when we listen to this kind
But
of
why?
rhetoric, issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump will give you a quick minute to
Drop the mic.
Thank you. When I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person.
Yeah.
I fired most of those people.
You know why?
Yeah.
They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire
Name one of them.
all those generals, all those 13 people. Jim, you know. Completely adverse situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job, I fire him. And you think he was no good, I fired him. So he writes a book.
The Apprentice all over again. He was running the office like The Apprentice.
He was talking about firing all the people that were striking. Did you see that when he was saying just fire them all?
Yeah.
Look at the inflation.
He's definitely going to try to do a dictatorship.
They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any president, sitting president in history by far.
You lost. How's that possible?
I was about to say, how did he do
Yeah.
that? Right. Yeah.
Math don't be math.
He gives me narcissist vibes.
The
Anybody that can
definition.
just lie right on the
The
spot
definition.
with a straight face.
Yeah.
Without blinking. Right there. Boom.
Right.
And then after his lie was proven a lie,
Right.
didn't blink an
Double
eye.
down.
Much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into a country, and they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. You know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down. You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here.
Because we have all the guns and no gun laws.
Statements that they made. Crime in this country is through the roof, and we have a
Really?
form of crime. It's called migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down.
They sick of his stuff.
But
Fraud, just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted. Election interference.
Say looking for his passport.
Hey, you know what's gonna happen? Oh, she's gonna definitely win. But what's gonna happen for black people? We're already on the bottom. We're gonna stay on the bottom. They come across the border. Two groups of people aren't breeding: whites and blacks, which has been steady at 13%. So where are all the abortion clinics located? 80% of abortion clinics are located in African American communities. Okay, we double anybody else in abortion. So we're genociding ourselves. Okay, I'm not for Trump, but what I'm against is keeping a Democratic dick in our mouths. Okay, you keep on handing out EBT cards, you handing out welfare. Okay, you hand out subsidized, nothing to bring us up, just stuff to keep us right the fuck where we are.
Let me ask you this. Wait. Let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this.
Everybody lines up for that.
It's
and
more
just
white
eats it.
people
The
on
thing
the
is, we're gonna have
EBT
two
and stuff.
separate communities. We're gonna have the haves and the have-nots.
We got that now.
That's all I'm talking about.
We got
But
that
if you're
now.
not improving school systems, you have the Baltimore school system that not a single child in math passed the standardized test in the inner city. So you're releasing all those kids into the community. All they're gonna do is be cannon fodder for the commercialized prison system that exists in America today. Okay, that's all. I think both of them are pieces of shit. But you're in a situation where I would rather us, a certain segment of our community, to be uncomfortable so they don't continue to stay in the situation that they're in. Because all she's gonna do is give them another carrot. I'd rather have somebody that's gonna make them uncomfortable. And then maybe they might say, hey, look, let me get my shit together. If Africans can do it, if Asians can do it, anybody from Asia. Ukrainians. Now the government's been giving them a lot of assistance lately, but even when they don't, if we don't see it as a problem and continue to stay in the areas that we already gonna be shit. All we're gonna do is we're 63% of most jails now, we're gonna be 80%. So if they're not giving you nothing, giving you a handout, people, and wait for stimulus checks, it's not helping you. And unless we're gonna say we're inferior, we have to improve our school systems. What this is gonna cause, I want it uncomfortable, but all it's gonna cause under her is 4 more years of handouts. Nothing to help, nothing to bring you above, but 4 more years of handouts. Okay, so hey, I could give a fuck who wins. When it happens, we have to improve as a people.
Question
But
for
you
you.
think, go ahead.
Question for you. Do you feel that everybody that's on food stamps, that's on subsidized housing, 100% stays there? That they don't try and improve themselves?
No.
Yes or no? That's
Come
all.
on now. You sound
Because
like the average liberal.
No, what I
I'm
sound
saying
like is
with
I'm
that
talking to
is
somebody
you
that
have
every
a lot
week
of people.
he says
you have a lot
we
of
are
people
the
that
third
remain-
lowest. But you say that every week. All I'm asking you is you act as if they make it uncomfortable, like these people are now going to get up and actually do something. Do you think everybody's going to actually get up and do something, or do you think some of them are going to turn to more crime?
Exactly.
If you look at the crime in our
Exactly.
community, it's already up. If you don't give people incentives and start putting, fix the school systems. Fix the school systems. Start with vocational systems. If you gave a scholarship to everybody that graduates as a senior in the Baltimore school system, how many of them would actually graduate when they can't pass the standardized test? Okay, but if you go in and put vocational in the same light, they just started doing that in Georgia. You know what the Georgia lottery is? Black people and poor people putting white kids through college free. Because when you look at the number of black kids that start with the Hope Scholarship and graduate compared to whites, all we doing is paying for their kids to go to school. So unless you fix the schools, yes, we are going to be crime-ridden.
You have to fix people's mindsets.
Exactly,
because
but you got to start somewhere.
I've worked for the school system, and we can put in 1,000% every day. But if these people are not working with their children, if parents have the same mindset as a slave, as someone that needs the system, as someone that does not want to teach their kids, does not want to work with their kids, then it's not going to change.
You're saying exactly what I'm saying.
And we do not get, you're putting it on the system.
No.
It has to be, people have to stand up. People like you that believe this, go and start teaching people a different way to live and a different way to think. Because until you attack that, people are going to, this is generational things that people pass down. But it's also from us dealing with the effects of slavery. Our mindsets are not where they should be at. But we are not
what destroyed us?
We do not get
when
most
they got rid of Jim Crow,
we do not get most of the
black male could not. When they got brought in that the black male could not be in the household and a woman, anybody be in the household and a woman receive welfare, that's what destroyed the black nuclear family. People forget. In the 60s, the 50s, and the 60s.
Black man does not have to walk away.
In the 50s and the 60s, black families led in America above white families as far as being
and
married.
What did they do?
And now
and
what did they
do to us?
Yeah,
what did they do?
Exactly.
Burn down everything that we built.
No, it didn't have nothing to do with that. What it did when they when they did not allow the black male to stay in and receive welfare. The black male had to leave for her to do it. That broke up a lot of families when a man would have stayed there. That's when it all started. We were better under Jim Crow.
I don't think that's where it started at all.
That's where it started at.
It did not start there at all.
Of course, slavery has an impact, but that's what...
They were separating black families during slavery. They did not let us get married. They took them in away from their wives and their children. However...
It was never fixed.
However... What's the problem now with black men walking away from their kids? What is the problem now? Oh, now
same thing. It's same thing. It's generation after generation after generation after generation of a black male being replaced as a head of a household. Okay, that was caused intentionally by our government removing the black male from the household through legislation.
I agree, but I think that's a small aspect.
That's a big
because most women are not. There's a lot. I know a lot of successful black women that are not on any type of aid, and a man has walked away. She didn't put him out. She didn't say she didn't trade her man in, her family in for a check. And y'all got to stop putting this narrative out here. These women are not getting what you think they're getting.
Okay, 74% of black children are born in a single-family household. What is that telling you? They're born into a situation where nobody stuck around. Nobody stuck around, okay?
Exactly.
So what are they going to continue to do? There's no negative in this shit. I'm not saying, ladies, there should be a negative stigma with single-family household or having a child, because a lot of women do it intentionally. But what I'm saying is when you make it so there's no negative stigma anymore and marriage isn't accepted, that's the income. And what you're seeing now, women have a dating pool of males that are raised by them. And it's shit.
Okay, so whose fault is that?
It's our problem. We have to work.
But whose fault?
How do you see he could change that?
I don't even see him changing that. What I see is
that's the point that I'm trying.
We cannot continue just to receive aid and nothing else. We need somebody. If you're bad enough, we'll galvanize and move forward. That's what I'm hoping.
So if
okay,
they're still getting handouts,
but do you feel like they owe us anything though for the systematic oppression of our people?
I think this.
For taking men out of the household, for putting them in jail.
I think it's asinine to expect your enslavers to do a goddamn thing for you. I don't expect nothing from the government.
Okay.
If we don't put our own shit together, you think the very people that fucked us are gonna come back and unfuck us?
I can agree with that.
We're
That there's
cash
something
crop.
that we need
are
to take.
the new cotton in America.
Yes.
They pick us up for a commercialized prison system, the jail system, the police system, everything, welfare system, attorneys, judicial systems. We're the cannon fodder. And we don't see that. And I think under oppression, somebody will be born. But right now, when people cannot starve, if you've ever been, I've been to 18 countries. And when you're in a third world country where the people starve, it's a big difference.
Hold on. And that's what anything about January 6th he regrets.
Oh, bullshit. No, more of them should have shot. They were all punk asses. I can't listen to this shit. She can put the belt on now. She got
You say she can put the belt on?
The people that shoot up all these schools out of the white kids. So he's talking about all the criminals.
Boy, he flipped that, didn't he? He flipped that real quick, didn't he?
Didn't answer the question. Still didn't answer the question.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
That's why. In Seattle, they wanted to see Seattle. They took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
So he is.
No, you answer the question.
What question?
There you go. He did good. He said it's a very simple question.
The question.
I had nothing to do with that other than the speech. I showed up. I think it's going to be. I went to Nancy Pelosi.
Ridiculous.
Washington, D.C.
Ridiculous.
I put it back in writing, as you know. I said, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me, it was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying she is fully responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would never happen. Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president.
Still answer the question.
Don't let him off the hook.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the president of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died.
He's a what?
And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were
Fine people.
on each side. Let's remember that when it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the president said, the former president said, stand back and stand by.
Don't fuck with a lawyer.
So for everyone watching who remembers what January
They done
6th
prosecuted too.
What?
I say, we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back.
Well, she done made about 6 closing arguments in this one
And
debate.
if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country, to stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because you don't like the outcome. And be clear, on that point, Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath. If this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking, let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Let me just follow up here.
It was a different journey.
They turned his mic off.
Energy, because they've destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath
What?
was. Also, for Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham.
Trump is unarmed.
All of these people, they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect. It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this, you talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell
Oh, there you go.
what
Back to the border.
I would say we would both lead this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington.
Wow.
Did he say she's been bad during this debate?
Yes.
They have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right.
Right, she's Flavor Flav. He's Flavor Flav.
He's a narcissist.
Come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is, all he has to do is say it to the border patrol. If they do that, the
I'm just annoyed that a felon cannot vote, but they have a felon that's running for president.
Still amazing. Good. Hey,
How- I mean-
only in America.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And being killed for president for 3.5 years after he lost
He,
You right?
he
Yeah.
has killed. There's no doubt in my mind he's killed someone.
many times.
Yeah, his lawyer has already alluded to that.
Leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short. Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
I said that sarcastically, you know that. It was said, oh, we lost
You
by
said
a
it.
whisker. That was said sarcastically.
She said it.
There's so much.
Nah, it's sarcastic.
All they have to do is look at it, and they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told that I got 63, which is what I got in 2016. You can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls, and we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm lost by a whisker. We should just point out here as a clarification, and you know this, you and your allies 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
No
are
judge looked at it,
and
and
some
they said we didn't have standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The president of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost. If you look at the facts, and I'd love to have you, if you do a special on it, I'll show you Georgia, and I'll show you Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you, we have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter, because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news, and the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker, so he still believes he did say the election was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences.
Wow.
One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us, we won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people.
Yes, sir. The clap back. The clap back. Me too. I'm waiting for this 5 minutes.
That's classic. That's classic.
He was fired by 81 million.
I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom work with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did in fact lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused.
Come on.
Ooh.
Come on.
That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
Deeply troubling.
Let me just tell you about where Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of
That
him.
man gonna come out and say, that ain't what I said.
He said Russia was afraid of him.
Right. Yo, buddy.
And Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if you weren't in that debate, he'd be running on Senate verse. He got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office.
Wow.
And I want to give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't
Oh
stand her.
God, this dude is bugging.
They threw her out. She got 0 votes. And when
That's the
she
petty
ran,
pumpkin.
she was the first one
He's saying that Biden hates her? Is that what he said?
That's what he just said.
He's such a child.
He is.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas war and the hostages. which
Oh, my
killed
God.
Americans among them. Vice President Harris, in December, you said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself, but you added, quote, it matters how. Saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now
She's a pretty girl.
4,000 Palestinians are dead.
She's a pretty girl.
100 hostages remain. Yesterday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the stalemate. How would you do it?
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7th, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young
Ma'am?
people who were simply attending a concert.
It was a raid, a drug-filled
Forcibly
raid.
raped. And so absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution, there must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and an equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always, I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in particular as it relates to Iran and any threat that Iran and its proxies pose to Israel. But we must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the
Woo,
dignity
boy.
they deserve.
President Trump, how would you negotiate with Netanyahu and
Hey, y'all.
How would you negotiate, Trump?
Y'all keep watching, but before we go, I got some breaking news.
It would have never started.
Daniel Jones of the New York Giants is still trash. That was that breaking news from the black Adam Scheffler. And we'll be right back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
That's a call. In the women's rugby, if you look at the New Zealand side, they're vicious.
Portia Woodman.
Yeah.
My goodness.
yeah.
She's literally a player that would like go into contact, pick somebody up on her shoulder and keep running while she has the ball. Like she's retiring this year.
Okay.
RIP to the great, but man, yeah.
You know, the American men almost made it in to medal qualifying. And that was just, that's, I'm not going to say it's a fluke, fellas, but the best sides were there. The American women, when they beat Australia, that was crazy cool.
Yeah.
That was crazy cool.
I'm so happy that they bronzed out this year. They medaled out. They haven't done that in 100 years.
Oh, wow.
And they got $4 million committed to the program
But
from a donor because of that. So it's
Really?
going to be major for women's rugby.
It's good stuff.
Wow.
And they don't play 15 aside, but do you know who won the first gold medal in rugby?
No, I don't.
America.
Actually went to a commercial. Oh, that's perfect. Look at perfect time.
Right.
We can actually talk now. Let's go.
said.
All right, y'all, we back, man. We back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
And that's a call.
As you saw, man, we've been looking at the debate, laughing, tripping a little bit, little conversation. So, you know, as we winding this show, what y'all think? That commercial right now, what you think? Who's winning? Who's winning the debate?
Trump got his ass whooped like a $10 hoe on Stewart Avenue.
What?
Well, you gave him $10.
You said a $10 hoe.
They better have some charges on her ass tomorrow. That shit, she goddamn raped his ass in the middle of the street. Good God.
Is that an old saying?
need some
I'm not understanding. What's a $10 hoe?
$10. You know a $10 hoe?
No.
You as a woman, you may not.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's a street walking out.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a cheap hoe.
But you calling the vice president a cheap hoe, or is it just a saying? Okay.
Trump got his ass whooped
Like
Gotcha.
a cheap, like a cheap hoe.
She
Yeah.
annihilated.
Yeah.
She annihilated him. It wasn't even close. No,
That's
I'm talking
my
about
point.
Trump.
I was-
Yes,
Trump.
that's
I
my
said
point.
Trump.
Yes.
She basically is a prosecuting attorney, and she did him in.
Hey, did him in.
And like I said, he didn't. He was just illiterate.
Look, you
no
understood-
purpose, no
you-
facts, and got spanked.
You kind of understood why when the first debate that was scheduled, he backed out.
No, I knew that the whole time, dude. Dude, I follow politics. My whole issue with it is, like I said, us as a people, I think we have to start demanding things from the Democratic Party and not just promises. When you have black school systems across the nation failing and kids not passing standardized tests, that's because the right monies are not poured into them, the breakup of a black nuclear family. And I'd like to see when she wins, and she will win, I would like to see her actually make steps to try to correct some of the wrongs that the government's done, because she does claim half of us half the time. Hopefully she'll come out and just go be more supportive. So like I said, she won hands down. This debate, whatever closest it was, it's a wrap.
Is that
you
more
vote
of
for
a-
Trump?
But don't you think that policy is more the responsibility of the states?
That's out.
I mean, Baltimore schools failing is the responsibility of Baltimore and Maryland. They're failing those school systems, not who we put the federal government.
The federal government.
Hold on. What I'm saying is, like I know, the governor has a budget, and they have a budget, and they slot out where that money goes, and they slot all those things are laid out. Now, if the governor and the mayor and the school, all these people, they're deciding how that money flows. Not her, not him.
No. That's why I think the change she can bring about is having, plus she's an HBC grad, so hopefully she'll have some of the funds and say when feds give you the funds, you cannot use them in a discriminatory fashion. So if they have somebody that oversees it, she puts out a council to see if the funds are being evenly divided between the different school systems. Start having somebody put out the penalty side of it, like when the Atlanta Public School System had a cheating scandal and everybody walked, and that was from the superintendent on down through every
And who prosecuted that?
It wasn't prosecuted.
The
Wasn't county prosecuted, the state did. But if the feds start saying if you receive federal funds, you must divide them properly and have some penalties.
But they decide how it's divided based on what's the thing called the census and all these things that I guarantee you the folks in that Baltimore community probably saw that census and tossed it right there and can left. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm all for. I don't disagree with what should happen, but when you say we need to galvanize. We need to galvanize. You know what I mean? We have to do it.
Yes.
But this election is not going to change that.
Yeah.
The governor elections will change that. The mayoral elections will change that. Your school board election will change that. That's where that demand needs to come from. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this thing here is a whole other conversation.
We're 13% of the population. If the feds don't stop in and make sure the money's being used correctly and not biased, like I said about the Hope Scholarship, all that does is give.
But I'm saying to you, who needs to?
University of Georgia students ability to drive BMWs home because all us playing the lottery keeps them on the Hope Scholarship.
Are you saying the Hope Scholarship? Is that
The
what
Hope
you're saying?
Scholarship, yeah.
So you don't think that black kids are?
No, you can look at the stats before you comment. Look at the stats.
I'm
most of the
asking
black
a question.
kids getting on the Hope Scholarship lose it by the second year.
But why do
And
they
whose
lose
fault
it?
is
The school
that?
systems they're coming from are
Why is
failing.
it everyone else's
Right, because
fault but ours? Where do we come in and start trying to just educate our
True. I agree with
community.
you on that.
Because we can change all these laws. Again, I'm a teacher. I'm in the school system, and there may be money coming in, but when the kids go home, if their parents are not doing homework with them, if their parents are not, the parents are actually
checking the homework,
some of them
yes.
can be defensive when you tell them that their child is not, needs to do some more work at home or do, so. What is
This
that?
wasn't an attack
We
on
have to take
teachers.
some type of.
Oh,
I know
no,
it's
we
not.
do.
I'm just
It's
saying
not
we have to
attack-
take accountability
Exactly.
for our communities.
And we don't. And
at
we
some
have
point.
to have any black leaders speak out against us as a whole. I thought President Obama, of the second term, would have had a fireside. He couldn't on the first, a fireside that spoke directly to us. Okay, and then and just call us out on our bullshit. It is bullshit because you have a Lexus and you have the ability to put your kid in a better school system, or the ones with the failing school system. You can get vouchers in a lot of areas and take your son or daughter to a private school, or take them out of that failing school and put them in a better school, and we won't even do it. They take their asses and stay in the same area, and it's like a cesspool, and they continue with the cesspool.
Okay, so even what you're saying, I can respect what you're saying because you do want your child to be in a better school. However, where I live now, there is a division that's very close, like the borderline of the next city is very close. And so those people, they use different addresses to come into the schools where I'm located, which are very good schools. But guess what? We know who those kids are because their mindsets are not different. They may be in a better school. However, if they're going home to some parents that are a community that does not care about themselves or care about each other, then they are going to have the same attitude.
I totally agree.
And guess what? And guess what the people in that school try to do, the principals, which I understand this. They try their best to get them out of the school.
They should.
Because,
they should.
But you just said we need to get them into better schools, right?
No,
So that's
Perfect
what I'm saying.
example. Chapel Hill this past last semester. Kid, they had the shooting at Six Flags. Got the gun from a kid from my son's school. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And then when they found out they did research on kids, guess what? Were they slotted for that school? Nope. Fake address.
Right.
But this is what came into this. Just what you just said.
You can take
that
it
mindset. It came into this school.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's real. What you just said.
City
Right.
Decatur
That's real.
schools. City
Right.
Decatur schools
real.
has detectives that's all they do is screen
I
students
know.
and do investigative and go home and check. Oh, you go teach? Okay.
I know.
Exactly.
Like I
And there's
said,
a
I
lot of other
actually
schools.
saw it in action. I
Yeah.
actually had a lady come, the lady that does it, she said, can you give me a call if you see this, because they know that these kids, but they still have to catch them.
Well,
they
when
literally
they
have
catch them,
to
a
follow them.
couple counties have actually prosecuted.
They do.
But my point is that the school system in Atlanta is so screwed. And the thing about it, like Grady High School, which is now Midtown High School, almost all of the teachers in the city of Atlanta school system, kids go to Grady. Politicians' kids go to Grady. Police officers' kids go to Grady because it's an outstanding school. Only other two schools that are
Now it is.
they're not. No, it's always been. Grady's always been tight.
No, it was.
Score wise, they
Grady
got
was
their
hood.
bills. Grady's always been.
Grady was hood. That
Score-
school
I'm talking about
that
scores. I'm
that
talking
school
about
system you
scores.
have right now is a product of the gentrification. That's what that is. 'Cause when I hey,
I'm not-
listen,
it was
when
a
I
good
worked
school.
209s,
My
we used to
daughter
have to
went
go
there.
there.
It's a
Hey,
good school.
that was not a.
It's a good school.
Yeah, it was not
It's
a.
a good school.
You was her daddy, fool.
No, but my thing is though, but that's just it. That's just it. It didn't affect me because I moved into a better school system just for my kids. But the vast majority of us can't afford to do it. So what I'm saying is, if we don't start making decisions for them, if we don't turn our nose up at rap music, if
But
we
isn't
don't
that all?
turn
Isn't
up
it,
negative
but
activity,
what you say? Isn't that all?
I agree with
That's
that.
the problem with most inner city schools, though.
Yeah.
Right? That's
exactly.
most
Black
inner
school,
city
just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Just
and
call
why,
it what it is.
and why is that?
Because they've been placated for so long and dumbed down for so long that a lot of them have given up. They're not even trying to get jobs.
So,
Some of them get-
and whose responsibility is
How
that?
have they
it's
been
your
dumbed
own
down?
responsibility, but
So
if we
that's-
do
And
not
go-
reach back to help them, and the way to help them is not to continue to give them handouts. I would rather have a food voucher
But
where
we
they go
talk-
to get beans
Hey,
and
listen.
rice.
But you just
Listen,
said that
hold
they
it.
need to give the schools more money. You're still going back to them
That's
giving
a
us
handout.
something.
What I mean is, if you give it and it's evenly divided. Okay, I worked in the city of Atlanta for 30 years. Okay, Northside Drive, whole time, not a park for any of those kids to play in. Okay, gentrification hits, and now you got a park that stretches almost 4 city blocks. Okay, and you see that all through the city of Atlanta. The only schools that are pushed and taken care of is Grady, Douglas, and Mays.
But then you have situations where they actually, the Atlanta Hawks actually built a doggone basketball court, very nice court at Ben Hill.
Sure did. The rims is down.
But what?
And that's exactly what I was
live
going
down-
to get to.
I
What I was
look-
going to
we
get to.
destroy
hold up.
It still goes back to the
That's what I was going to get
mindset.
to. I live down the street from Ben Hill, and I know that there's $750,000 houses over there. They're not living on assistance. They're living on their money. What she's saying, and this is what I keep trying to ask you, and Angela's already asked you, it's not, this election is not going to make parents do what they supposed to do. And I ain't talking about people that's getting EBT. I'm talking about people that's making $150,000. These parents are not, they're not accountable.
Thank you. Thank
bro,
you.
I lived
Most
in
of
Powder
those kids
Springs.
go to Marist or Woodard
I
Academy.
lived in okay, Marist, but again, I lived in Powder Springs, McEachin High School. Bro, when I tell you it looks like a college campus, but you go over
Yes,
there.
endowed. It's got
But go over
endowment.
there. No, that's in Powder
endowment.
Springs.
Yeah, it's got an endowment, but you know when
what?
it fell off?
Go over there. All the parents got money over there. It ain't got nothing to do with money or EBT. It's got to do with the parents actually giving the fuck. It ain't got nothing to do
Exactly.
with food stamps and EBT.
It does not.
Nothing
Thank you.
at
You look
all.
at it, you look
Listen,
at
And that's what I'm saying, 'cause you got
listen.
some
look
good
at the
people that
scores
might
at
be
that
on
school.
food stamps.
But
Those kids
again,
are getting into
look at the
college.
scores. But
those
again,
kids are getting into college.
But
The
again,
teachers not having that problem.
But just like you said about the Hope Scholarship, you said that the kids are. You say they back out after 2 years.
yeah, most
Whose fault is that?
It's the school systems.
No.
and the parents. It's the parents.
No.
The
There-
school
right
system.
there, right there, right
The
there.
parents in the school system.
How's it the school system if the kid goes in there and
If
flunks?
they were able to get the whole scholarship,
No, for real.
at that point
Yeah.
is not is the
It's the
that is
kids.
in house at that point.
It's-
If
it's
you
the
if you
Valedictorian of Mays High School, the first year Georgia had a standardized test, the valedictorian of Mays High School failed the state test. The valedictorian.
So what you're saying
Look it
is,
up.
what you're saying is that they gave him the
Yes.
wrong. You saying that the high school gave him the wrong grades, or him or her, the valedictorian? Is that what you're saying? Or you saying
No,
or you saying that the test was too
it's
hard for him?
Substandard teaching. Anytime a teacher gets good, and when a teacher gets a good teacher comes, and you know what I'm talking about. When there's a good teacher in a black school, what typically happens to them?
Here's what I will
They'll
say.
transfer to
You
another
have,
part
you
of the
have.
county.
I
They
do
can't do
agree.
that for you.
I agree
but
because
the why is the point.
Every
Why?
profession you got good and you have bad teachers.
Yes.
Every profession you have good and you have bad cops. You have,
It's
every
good and bad in all
profession,
of it,
okay?
you're right.
However, I personally think that the majority of teachers are good at what they do and they try very hard. A lot of times you just have the curriculum right there, okay? But do you have enough time to spend with each child? You may not. That's where the parents come in at. When we send home homework and we say help them with this and we give them all these resources, most counties that have kids that are in neighborhoods that are challenged, economically challenged, they have free tutors. They have all type of resources. Do the parents utilize it? Do the parents just get upset when you give them a low grade? Okay, I had kids for a few years. I taught art, and if you didn't do anything in my class, I'm not going to give you a passing grade. The parents, and I would always reach out and say, hey, your kid sits in here, because I'm not going to judge them on how artistic they are. I'm judging them on if they can follow directions. If you sit there and I'm telling you to draw a circle, but you sit and you don't do anything, everyone else is working, I can't give you a passing grade. But guess what? The school system will make us give them at
Make
least
you
a
better
50,
passing grade, yeah.
and then when you reach out to the parents,
That happens in
the
APS.
parents will argue and get the grade changed with the principal, Instead of what? Holding their child accountable.
And
Instead
what
of
I'm
holding
saying-
the child accountable,
And I
instead
understand
of
that. The
making
point-
them come back and apologize and do what they're supposed to do, they don't.
Hold up.
when
listen.
you have done that-
Hold up. She did this. She don't do that much.
Yeah.
She told me to wrap it up. Now she
Yeah.
did this. Can you be here next week?
Yeah.
Can we table this the next week? Handouts versus whose responsibility is it to help black people? What y'all think about that as a
Yeah, I
topic?
think that's awesome.
And let's
All right,
drag the
so
church and everybody else.
Yeah,
into it.
we'll table that the next week. Whew, boy.
Yeah.
Let them know we talked about it earlier. Let them know where they can follow you. I know you don't like to give all of it out, but let them know where they can follow you at, just in case they want to holler at you.
I'm on Instagram at Gyzay Sunray. That's Gyzay Sunray.
We're not gonna do top five. We're gonna go and wrap this thing up, right? Or
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
all right.
Sierra did this. That's a
Yeah,
wrap.
yeah, and all of y'all commenting in there, you're right. All I saw up and down is, damn, he was asked a question, didn't answer it, then he asked another question. That's what everybody's saying in there. So,
Hey man, rest in peace to the late great James Earl.
that's man,
Jones.
Foster.
Yeah.
93 years young. Rest in peace, brother. You made your mark in this
did
world.
that.
You will forever be saluted as one of the greatest actors, orators of all time. Your voice will live on forever.
Yes, sir.
But rest in peace, man, to that great brother.
Everybody that gave prayers for my nephew, I appreciate it. I missed this call, but I did see a picture of him, so that tells me he's doing well over there. So please keep your prayers going. He got about 6 more months to go over there in that sand. So, keep those prayers going. Happy birthday again, wife.
Happy birthday, Kappa.
Oh, nice,
Enjoyed
nice.
it.
We're going to sit back and watch the rest of this debate.
Yeah. So we
45 is turn. His face is turning as red as his hair. I love it.
Even the little circles around his eyes where he had them things on in the tanning booth, they even turning colors. Listen,
Yeah, she said we had disgust. Look at that. That was disgust right there.
listen, that's gonna do it for Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
That's that look when your mama know you. Hey, when you're lying to your mama and she know you lying, she looking like.
That's why he ain't looked at us.
And we out, you dig?